While everybody is talking about the M1 iPad Pro and the upcoming iPadOS 15, I think it's time to go back a bit and review the 2020 iPad Air, iPad Air 4. Blazing fast performance, brilliant 10.9-inch display, and very sweet price tag of $600. Today I try to compare it to the 2021 iPad Pro and tell which one is the better deal both for a regular user and for a creator. Be sure you watch this video till the very end. Let's start with the design, as usually it is the first thing you notice after unpacking a new device. iPad Air 4 rocks 2018 iPad Pro design with only one camera on the back. However, there are some slight changes like thicker bezels that made the screen 10.9-inch instead of 11 and a lack of flash. I don't usually take photos on iPad, but flashlight is definitely a useful thing. However, I can say that design-wise, iPad Air gives the same exact feeling that iPad Pro does. It's well thought, sharp and extremely thin. With or without keyboard, iPad Air looks amazing. Moreover, comparing to iPad Pro, iPad Air has more colors available: blue, green and pink. Each of these brings a kind of bright and less serious vibe, which may be nice if you're looking for it. I wonder if new MacBook Airs will feature the same color palette or not. On top of the iPad there is a fingerprint scanner, first ever built-in power button Apple has ever done. It works fast, looks sleek and clicks well. I wouldn't have any objections if later Apple implemented something like this in future iPhones. For example, in iPhone SE. It looks and feels fast, as I have already said, and it may be a cheaper solution than Face ID. Anyway, the point is that iPad Air looks and feels far beyond its price. There's barely any difference with iPad Pro. Probably the most important part of any tablet is the screen. Here it's all good, it's 10.9-inch display with 60Hz refresh rate, and I can definitely see the difference between iPad Air and iPad Pro, and iPad Air is definitely less smoother, but honestly, if it's the only iPad you have, you'll have no problem at all. You'll notice only the amazing combination of brilliant colors and decent brightness, because the refresh rate is only noticeable when you compare iPad Air to iPad Pro directly. Speaking about the mini LED version of iPad Pro, it's definitely not a choice for everyone, because first of all, it's big, and I don't know, I don't want my tablet to become the second laptop. And second of all, it's hella pricey. It's only available in 12.9-inch diagonal version, and it costs more than $1,000. iPad Air 4 is compatible with the second generation of Apple Pencil, which makes it a great device for illustrators. If you want to know how many layers you can do in Procreate, it's 250 for Full HD, and if you want to go 4K, it's 72 layers, which is still more than enough most of the time and equals the same amount in iPad Pro 2018. I also applied the paper-like screen protector onto the screen of this iPad Air, and it became an ultimate drawing machine for my illustrator girlfriend. By the way, check her Instagram, the link is in the description. She makes great illustrations. And we are moving to performance, which is absolutely amazing here. Honestly, I didn't expect the iPad Air to work that well. It seems to me that Apple completely reinvented what Air used to mean. Looking back at M1 MacBook Air, it's no longer a less powerful device, it's just different. And moreover, the Apple M1 chip of the 2021 iPad Pro shares the same core design as the Apple A14 chip in iPad Air. I don't say they are comparable, but definitely they have some similarities, which proves that Apple A14 in iPad Air will last forever. I would only recommend going iPad Pro if you are looking for a device to rock 4 to 5 years, because honestly iPad Air is still a blazing fast device and I can see no problems coming. Now that we finished talking about the basic specs of iPad Air, it's time to remember in which way the 2021 iPad Pro is better. First of all, it has 4 speakers instead of 2, which makes a ton of difference if you like to watch movies without headphones, because iPad Pro speakers are way better. Second, there is no 120Hz display in iPad Air. Third, there is no Face ID, which may be a bit faster if we are talking about tablets. And 4, iPad Pro 2021 has either 8 or 16 GB of RAM, while the iPad Air has only 4 of them. And even though now it is not a concern, it may become one when Apple announces Pro apps on WWDC tomorrow. However, what I want to say is that iPad Pro is not the tablet that everyone needs. Having used the iPad Pro for 2 years now, I haven't done anything pro on it. Honestly, all I did was watching Netflix and YouTube. It doesn't count. I did edit some photos, but iPad Air could do the same for $200 less, and that's the reason to buy iPad Air. It's cheaper. For $200 you can either buy AirPods and Apple Pencil or just Apple Folio keyboard. And I think that's a great advantage for a regular user. For a regular user, there's just no need to go pro. And speaking about the creators, I think they would be perfectly fine with iPad Air because, well, it's blazing fast, it's also that thin and beautiful, and what else do you need? Anyway, that's been it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.